Welcome everyone here for another edition of Grill and Torah, pre-Shabbat Grill and Torah. We're going to discuss a little bit. We're going to be reading this Shabbat in Israel, actually not in America. In America, you're I think a Parsha behind us. We are reading the Parsha of Pinchas here in Israel, and I got some major grilling going on here for Shabbos. We have my parents coming, and of course we have one of my cousins, also one of my cousins here for Parsha from New Jersey with us. This is a Gelb, how are you? All right, Natan. Hey, what's up, man? So, the weekly Torah and grilling, pre-Torah and grilling is going on right now here in Efrat. And for those of you who did not see what's cooking here, check that out. Oh my God, I cannot tell you. My parents are coming for Shabbos, and they're in for a huge treat. Hold on one second. We don't want to burn these. Give me one second. We'll be talking 1 second about the portion we're going to be reading. Oh no, why is it burnt? Give me a second. This is very important that I get this out of the way. There we go. Okay. All right, we're back. Jennifer, how you doing? Moshe Starashevsky, steak. You better believe steak, chicken. We got wings, a bunch of stuff going on there. Okay, so this week we are talking to, and I got to rush it. Before I start, I'm asking everyone two favors, please. Number one, share the video. All right? Let everyone know what's going on here in Israel. Life is good. Number two, please, this is very, very important. For those of you who don't know, I'm running the organization Standing Together. This is an organization that supplies and supports IDF soldiers with whatever they need, wherever they are. And we had a campaign in Gush Etzion, which is a campaign that basically allowed soldiers who were actually en route to stop when they had a break, to go into the local coffee place and eat and drink for free. Unfortunately, the funds have gone down there, and I do need your help. So I put the link right above here. It's Coffee for Soldiers. It's not a lot of money, and it's just a small thing we can do for soldiers. I'm asking everyone, please, at the end of the broadcast, hit that link, please, and just donate whatever you can. It's really nothing for soldiers. It's just a sign of appreciation. You want to do something more than that? The second link there, 4 major campaigns we're doing during this summer. All right, so please, everyone, hit that link above if you don't mind after the broadcast. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this week's Parsha. Hold on, let me. Oh my goodness. Be able to send smell through Facebook Live. Like, oh Lord. Hold on 1 second. Let me flip those steaks over. That one's ready, I think. We do our steaks rare. Medium rare, maximum. Woo! Hold on. Okay, we're good. Alright, so this week's we are reading Parsha Pinchas in the Torah, in the book of Bamidbar. For those of you who don't know, and this week is a lot of stuff going on, but we're going to discuss one point this week because it's really something that's amazing. Think about it. Moshe Rabbeinu, the leader of the nation of Israel, who brought us out of Egypt and took us through the Midbar, all the complaining that we've done and all the other things that we've done that we're supposed to be doing, at the end of the day, was not allowed to fulfill his one wish. And his one wish was to come into the land of Israel. His one wish was to come to... Oh, I don't know what happened there. His one wish was to come into the land of Israel, and of course he was not allowed in. For whatever reason might be, there are different explanations why Moshe wasn't allowed in to the land of Israel at the end of his life. People, please, and let's share this. I want to get some more people in here. The message I have, I think I'd like to give it to as many people as you can. If you are here, Rashi is watching. How you doing, Rashi? Great to have you here. So we're talking about Parshat Pinchas as my dinner here is cooking, and at the end of the Parsha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God, tells Moshe to go up to the mountain, and he says to him, look, you're not going to the land of Israel. Okay, that's not happening. But what I let you do is I'll let you go up on the mountain, and I'll let you look, right? And so the question is asked, everybody asks the question, what is that, a prize or a punishment? Right? Letting Moshe Rabbeinu go up to the mountain and take a look at the land of Israel that he's not allowed to go into. That's like saying to a kid, well, not a kid obviously, but that's like saying to someone, here, look at the candy, but don't touch. So the question is, what was, number one, why did, Hashem do that to Moshe Rabbeinu? And, why didn't Moshe Rabbeinu, say anything about that? I don't even want to see it, right? Can you imagine being able to see the land of Israel, right, and not to go there? I guess before 1967, when Jews were not allowed to go to the Kotel, right, they were able to look over the wall in Jerusalem that was divided. Hold on 1 second. Look over the divided wall of Jerusalem. They were able to see the Old City, but not go there. It was a terrible thing, right? We know that there's actually a commandment that that if you see the Jerusalem in ruins, hold on one second. Let's invite in a bunch of people here. Give me a second, all right? Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's get a bunch of people in here. Hold on. No one go anywhere. All right, we're just inviting a bunch of people. Okay, so the question is asked, why would God send Moshe Rabbeinu up on a mountain and say, go look at the land that I'm not letting you go in? What good is that, number one? And it almost seems like a punishment. You know, look, but don't touch. So first of all, we do have to internalize just how much Moshe wanted to actually go into the land of Israel. He prayed and prayed and prayed until, it seems like God actually got angry with him and said, you're not going in. Finish, stop praying. So what is this issue of going up the mountain and taking a look at what you can't touch? So obviously when we read that, we talk about, looking and with our eyes and saying, oh, look, there's a land, there's a beautiful land. Obviously that's not what we're talking about here, because that would be mean, right? Take a look at that beautiful car, take a look at the beautiful house, you can't touch it. That's not something we would believe that anybody would do to anyone, certainly God not to Moshe Rabbeinu. So what's the issue of looking? So we know that looking at something has a different meaning. It's not just with your eyes. Okay, for instance, the spies that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, they were commanded to go look, to go see what the land is. Avi, David, how are you? That's awesome, dude. When have you been coming for Shabbos? Anyway, so the spies went in and they saw, Herb, how are you? The spies saw the land of Israel and they came back and reported whatever they reported. We know they reported something bad, and they walked the land. They were inside. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, was not in the land, right? Oh, 1 second, people. I gotta make sure my Shabbos meal does not burn here. Herb, remember that steak? Yummy. Okay, hold on 1 second. We don't want to burn that steak. We want to keep it nice and medium rare. Oh boy, it looks so good. Slow cooking the steaks on top. Okay, so Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't allowed to go into Israel, but he did look, and he saw something different, right? He didn't see what the spies saw. He saw something completely different, because Moshe Rabbeinu was looking at Israel from a spiritual standpoint, not from only a physical one. He wasn't saying, oh, look at the beautiful mountains. Of course there are beautiful mountains, and of course I'm sure he noticed it, but that's not why he was looking at the land of Israel, and that's also not why he wanted to come into the land of Israel. He wanted to be part of this land, not because just to be here, but to fulfill his Jewish destiny, let's call it. People who are living here now are fulfilling Jewish destiny. The idea that Jews are coming back to the land of Israel is biblically amazing, right? We have Jews from all four corners of the earth coming back to Israel, everywhere from Iran to America to England to Ethiopia. I actually have a friend who got married to an Ethiopian, and I actually often get invited to Ethiopian weddings that take place in Beit Shemesh. It's amazing to see. You see Jews literally from all four corners of the earth coming back to the land of Israel, and it's biblically, hey Mary, how are you? I always make you hungry. So when you come over to Israel, we'll eat. But, we're seeing miracles in our times, and the gathering of Israel coming back to the gathering of the Jews going golfing. Awesome. Herb, enjoy, and happy birthday again. Hey Larry, how you doing? So seeing Jews coming back from all four corners of the earth, it's a prophecy. There's no questions about that. And we see miracles happening every day. We talk about the wars that are fought here. But I think that the hunger and the desire for Moses to come into the land of Israel and wasn't allowed to. And we Jews who are here are living something that Moshe, our leader, was unable to do. I mean, that's an unbelievable, fantastic idea. That Moshe Rabbeinu was not able to live in this country. We are, and we're here. And I think that, one of the things that Judaism teaches is always have a good eye. What does that mean, a good eye? It doesn't mean, a good eye in sales. It means that, my daughters, it means a good eye means that you should always see the good in things. So people who are, complaining, and there are problems in Israel, and things we have to do and things we have to take care of, but you got to look at the things in positive light, and thank God we're here in Israel, and of course we are dealing with terror sometimes, but we have to look at the positive things. We're in a beautiful land. The land is absolutely gorgeous. The nation of Israel is absolutely beautiful, and with all the disagreements we have, we have a lot of political and social, and just past week there was the barbecue. You're making my meat for Shabbos. Check it out. Woo-hoo. Just past week there was a whole argument about the gay parade in Jerusalem, and again I'm going to say this very clearly: nowhere will you hear me advocate, condone, or anything else attacking violently, verbally, or anything else someone who has desires, whichever way they go, I don't care. What they do in their bedroom is not my business, and I don't want to make it my business. But as soon as it becomes the public domain, and you're trying to make it into, making others accept what you accept as normal sexual behavior, I'm sorry, I don't have to stay silent about that. Again, what you do in your bedroom is your, but it doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean the person who has those tendencies have anything against them personally. I don't believe in attacking them or hey, come over for Shabbos. It doesn't matter to me. But the point is, when it comes to Moshe Rabbeinu, his hunger and desire to come to Israel was not fulfilled. He was not able to come here. And when God said, go up to the mountain and look at Israel, it wasn't talking to look at Israel physically, right? He didn't look at Israel and say, well, there are mountains and this and that. No, it was go look at Israel in a spiritual way. The idea is that Moshe Rabbeinu went up on the mountain, he looked down at the land of Israel, and he saw the spiritual aspect of Israel. He saw the holiness of Israel. And there's a guy, Ryan Belarus, if you don't know who he is, definitely follow him. He's a native North American, and he's working on a line that the Jews are actually indigenous to Israel, right? The Arabs are using that line, they're indigenous to Israel, and he's using that the Jews are. And so I actually said to him, well, listen, Abraham wasn't from here, so how are we indigenous? And he says, no, indigenous peoples have 5 things that they need. Remember, it's religion, culture, language, geography in terms of the land, and one other, I don't remember what it is. He says everything Jewish, everything the Jewish nation is in Israel. In terms of prayer, you're facing Jerusalem. In terms of your customs, everything's in Israel. You can't, in other words, all the laws of fruits and vegetables, it's only in the land of Israel. It doesn't exist outside. Those where the blue tchelet, the blue strings on the tzitzit, can only be found in Israel. Our entire culture is here. So he said that's number one. Your religion, there's no question about it. You've been praying for Jerusalem for 2,000 years since the temple was destroyed 3 times a day. You only face Jerusalem. You face nowhere else. And in terms of language, Hebrew is the only ancient language that's been revived to be spoken in the streets. I mean, think about it. It's amazing. Can you imagine? I said it all the time. Imagine Latin being revived in America. Right? It would be insane. Hebrew is the only ancient language that has been revived to the level of people speaking it in the streets. And so the idea is that we are actually fulfilling and doing what Moshe was not able to do. It's absolutely amazing. Hold on one second. And 2 things we have to learn from this. Number 1, we have to learn to say thank you. We must learn to say thank you. Number 2 is we must never lose appreciation for it. Never lose appreciation for it. Never lose the deep love that we have for this country, what we've done for this country to live here and to survive here, and never give up hope and never give up, the idea that we're right. We're right because we're right. The idea is that we never fought, we never started wars. We're not interested in wars. We've always been attacked, and we fought the wars and we won miraculously every time. Every single time miracles happened. All odds are against us in terms of the state of Israel. We're outnumbered, we're out-weaponed out everything else. Maybe not trained, obviously. The Israeli soldiers were pretty well trained. Jeremy Levine is watching. How are you? Ephraim is watching. How you doing, Ephraim? I roll in Hebrew. I know. Shabbat Shalom. All right, Mary. Well, maybe I'll give some Hebrew lessons online. But I want to talk about one other thing. 2 other things, actually. So those of you who know a little bit of biblical knowledge know that Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses was punished. One of the explanations was he was punished for hitting the rock instead of speaking to the rock. And the question is asked: what is the big deal? What do you have to speak to a rock for? What is that? So it says that it wasn't only about not speaking to the rock. It would have been a tremendous miracle if you would speaking to the rock would have really shined the miracle on Israel, and they would have seen that this is purely God and hitting the rock. So again, what's the big deal? So what's interesting is there's a lesson to be learned from this in terms of talking, and we see it also at the end of the Parsha when Pinchas, who killed someone who was over on, and again, I don't even want to say this, you're going to connect it. Pinchas took care of someone, he actually killed someone in order to stop a massacre within Israel, someone who was transgressing one of the major sins of Israel. I'm not mentioning it because I don't want you to do any connection, but what God said afterwards is that that Pinchas, by his action, the pasuk is P. He says he stopped with his mouth, or something to that effect. And the idea is also there is the idea of speech. And at the end we know that Moses at the end of the day was punished because instead of speaking to the rock, he hit the rock. And I think that there's a lesson here for all of us. And the lesson is that we cannot have Mashiach come, the Gula come, the redemption come, we cannot survive and succeed here if we don't know how to talk. In other words, if I disagree with you, I can talk about it. I can tell you that I disagree with you. I can vehemently disagree with you. Okay, we might even yell at each other, but at the end of the day, we have to be one. There's no hating each other. There's no, ever hating each other. We know the Second Temple was destroyed for that hate between people. So we can talk and we can argue, but it should never go down onto individual levels. And again, when I debate people online, I'm debating with facts. I try never to go personal, and if I do, if I lose control, that's not a good thing, and I try not to do that. But I've seen over the last week when I was talking to people about politics, Israel, and outside, that people got very, very vulgar. They got very personal. They were profanity, and that's exactly what we're talking about. We can't go that route. We cannot go that route. We can argue, and we can talk, and we can disagree, and we can agree, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we have to sit down and have coffee with each other. At the end of the day, we have to be able to get along. And that's the secret. And because, with a rock, Moses hit the rock, instead of speaking to it, he wasn't allowed to live his destiny in the land of Israel. So those of us who merited to actually live in the land of Israel, we have to be very, very careful and not make that same mistake. 2 words about elections in the States. I saw the Republic National Convention last night, and I heard all the speeches, and I'll tell you the truth. Look, I'm going to say it again, and I think anyone who's thinking differently than that is being silly. Okay, politicians are politicians. Let's not make them into messiahs. Let's not make them into role models even, okay? Maybe they should be, but they're not. All right, so the point I'm trying to say is neither Clinton nor Trump are role models, okay? They're politicians, and one of them are going to end up being the president of the United States of America. But I'm not going to get emotional over either one. I happen to personally like Trump, and for reasons. He just speaks better about Israel. But again, that doesn't mean that someone who's voting Clinton, I'm going to, attack them or whatever it is, verbally or physically. No, I'll explain with details why I like Trump better, and then they can disagree or agree with me, and that's fine. We can talk about that, but it can't get to personal levels. That's very, very dangerous to do, and there's no reason for it. Again, if one of them were a role model, okay, then I would understand, but neither of them are role models. So there's really no reason for anyone to get, emotionally crazy about this elections. And we're all worrying, those of you who live in America are worrying about America. Everyone isn't, I understand that. But again, don't make believe that either of those candidates are role models for your kids or anyone else. They're politicians, and that's all they are. So whatever you're voting is, back it up with facts, back it up with, sane arguments, and don't go crazy. Nan is here. Nan, how are you? Howard, Trump rocks? Trump is good. Again, I don't know if he rocks. He's a different kind of guy. And let me ask you a question. Howard, is Trump a role model for your children? That's the bottom line. If your answer is no, okay, then like me, you believe it's a politician. Again, I personally believe Trump is better. I'll say it personally for Israel on American domestic issues. Jonathan is here. How are you? In America, I really don't have that enough knowledge to state an opinion. But again, the team, Christina, Shabbat Shalom. Uncle Ari, I got a video of Christina. I got the letter I gave to soldiers. I'm going to get you the video soon. I want to show everyone something. Hold on 1 second. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, it's 5:15.
Right now.
45 minutes till time.
Going. So I got a letter from Helene in America. She knitted a hat for soldiers. I guess she couldn't donate money, so she knitted a hat, and I got it in the mail just now, and I'll be giving it to someone before the next winter, obviously, for them to wear to keep warm. Before I continue, just by the way, everyone, Chaim Shabbat Shalom. Like I said at the beginning of this video, one of the campaigns that I'm running for Standing Together was we give coffee and cake to soldiers free at the Gush Etzion Junction, where a lot of the terrorist attacks have been happening lately. Veggie dog, are you kidding with me? I don't think so, buddy. Not even a little bit, not even a chance. But and we have a deal with the coffee house there that en route, when the soldiers are on patrol, they can go into the coffee house and eat and drink for free. That campaign is now frozen just because the funds have gone a little down for that campaign. So I'm asking everyone, please, I put up the link above, Coffee with Soldiers. Hit the link. It's not a lot of money, and we want to open up that campaign again. We get to thousands of soldiers. Monthly, it costs around 5,000 soldiers. It was literally thousands of soldiers going there over the month. It costs $5,000 for the month to cover all the soldiers. So again, you can even, one cup of coffee and cake for them, or as many as you want, or as little as you want. Please hit the link above that I put above, and join us in that coffee campaign. It's very important. We continue to say thank you to soldiers. In any case, I want to just reiterate what I said about Pinchas, this Parsha. is the idea that Moshe Rabbeinu was not allowed to go up to the land of Israel. He spent his lifetime helping the nation of Israel. The end day he wasn't allowed to go up. And we are here living the destiny that even Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't allowed to live. And so we always have to appreciate where we are. We have to never lose our appreciation for this place. We should have to love this place. And we have to be emotionally and physically involved in protecting it and loving it. And again, I'll say this, and I'll say this every time, is that there is no excuse, no excuse at all for anyone to advocate making a deal with our enemies that is based on a fabrication of history that they made up in order to destroy Israel. Let me explain, and then we're going to finish up today. In 1964, the PLO was created. It was created by a man named Yasser Arafat, who was an arch terrorist, and he was born in Egypt. He wasn't even a Palestinian, but it doesn't matter. And the goal of the organization was to destroy Israel and kill the Jews. The Palestinian Arab identity was born in 1964. The Palestinian flag was only recognized by them in 1988. There was no Arab Palestinian national identity, place, land, country, or anything else before the state of Israel. Therefore, when someone says, well, let's make a two-state solution, well, that is based on that fabrication of history that we took something from them, and we didn't. And please don't tell me, well, the current situation is a result of us believing that narrative. It's got to stop. We have to start believing we're right again, because we are. We have to stop making excuses and feeling sorry for telling the truth. The Arabs who call themselves Palestinians use that identity and have always used that identity, and that identity was created in 1964 with the goal of destroying all these schools in the Arab villages. Their textbooks don't have Israel on the map, so it's really it's a little bit, to ignore the reality of things when you say, oh well, two states will be peaceful. It's ridiculous. So what the solution is, I don't know, but I don't think the solution right now is adopting a historical lie that was created in order to destroy Israel and make believe that'll bring peace. That's you can't make peace with lies. So I don't know what the answer is, but we have to start telling the truth. This is a big challenge in today's world, because telling the truth sometimes is politically incorrect. Right? If I say, there was no such thing as a Palestinian anything before Israel, I'm a fanatic, I'm a radical. But if I'm a radical telling the truth, I'll be a radical. I don't want to be a radical, but that's what it is. So I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone. I think $5 around 20 shekels, Mary. But hit the link above, hit the coffee campaign above, please, and share this video with everyone. Let everyone know what's going on. Let everyone see the video. But I'm asking everyone who's watching this, please share the video and hit one of the links above here, the coffee campaign with the IDF, or the other 4 campaigns we have going on with the IDF. I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Have a great weekend. For those of you who are Jewish, enjoy Shabbat. For those who are not Jewish, have a spiritual and a peaceful weekend. Spend some time with the family, enjoy. And signing off here from Efrat in Gush Etzion, on the way between Jerusalem and Hebron, between Bethlehem and Hebron, Bethlehem and Hebron actually. Bethlehem is where Rachel is buried. And of course in Hebron is where Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the rest of the mothers are buried there. So I'm signing off. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.